name's Shell and welcome to my channel where I've been documenting since January 2021 my weight loss journey, which has been up and down and now is on the up again. It's nice I've got some new subscribers, so I'll just tell you a bit about myself. I live in North Wales with my partner Andy and our pets. This year we've been vegan for 30 years. Just coming up, it will be in September anyway, so that's a lifestyle that we chose and that we really enjoy. We live on the coast. It's very cold here now. We're in the midst of winter, and I've been trying to lose weight for well, a long time, since the early 1990s. I didn't have a weight problem when I was younger. I didn't have any sort of a weight problem until I was in my 20s, and then since then it's been one long battle. But last year I made my mind up that I was definitely going to lose, and I tried Weight Watchers, which I really enjoyed, but it was so like calorie counting that I gave that up and just went to calorie counting. And my aim was to give up calorie counting altogether and go to intuitive eating, which didn't work for me at all. It was a disaster, and I gained a stone very rapidly. And this year I'm trying intermittent fasting. I've been doing it for 3 weeks now. I wasn't sure at the start, it seemed too good to be true, but I'm 3 weeks in now and it just keeps getting better and better and better and more enjoyable. And as I'm starting to have confidence in it lasting, I'm starting to get more excited about it, because at the beginning I thought, well, this will probably go on for a couple of days and then you'll be starving and it'll all go wrong. So I didn't want to be too enthusiastic about it. But now I'm 3 weeks in, and rather than it getting harder or me losing faith in it, it's just going from strength to strength, and all the time I'm finding more and more benefits in it. I do a 23-hour fast and 1 hour eating, roundabout. It's not set in stone, it's now, sometimes it's just 45 minutes, or sometimes it can be over an hour. But I start my eating window when the tea's on the table, and after tea I have a hot chocolate and something sweet, maybe chocolates or something like that, biscuits. And then as soon as the hot chocolate and biscuits are gone, then my window closes. And one of the best things about it for me, I've had lots of food issues over the years, and the best thing about it for me is that all day when I go the 23 hours, I'm not hungry, and all the binge urges that I've had that have plagued me for decades have just gone. They've just disappeared. I can't explain it, they've just gone. And that's been the most incredible thing to me, and the thing that I most want to preserve, because every day for the last 20-30 years has been a battle for me dealing with these urges to binge. Sometimes I just give in to them for weeks at a time, put a lot of weight on, but I just can't cope with it anymore. Other times I'm doing some kind of diet plan and it's feeling good, and it never seems to last. So this lack of struggle throughout the day has been absolutely heavenly. I cannot describe how wonderful it's been. I still keep thinking I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's all going to dissolve, but so far, no. And there's so many benefits to it as well. You know, there's a lot of health benefits. If you read up on the science, there's an awful lot of health benefits. It's also easy to manage. It's going to be easy for going out. I mean, you think other diets, when I've been out before, it's a case of trying to look up on the internet to see if you can get the menu before you go, to try and see how many calories are in things if you can, and get there. And there's always a struggle between the thing on the menu that you want to eat and the thing on the menu that you think you should eat. But when you're doing intermittent fasting, you can just go, and that's not an issue anymore. You can just eat whatever you want, because that will be your hour, and you can just choose what you want rather than going through all these thoughts and processes and decisions. And I just can't think of anything bad to say about it. I get up in the morning usually and I have a black coffee, because if you're doing a clean fast, which means you're properly fasting, then the only things you should be having are coffee, tea and water. Other people do different things and it works for them, but if you're going to do a proper clean fast, then that's what you should be having in your fasting hours. And then when it comes to my eating hours, I just eat whatever I want, whatever I feel like. Some people I know eat different things and they stick to different plans, which is fine if that's what you want to do and if it works for you. But for me, I want to get to tea time and just eat whatever I want. For the first couple of weeks I was getting a bit hung up about calories because sometimes I'm struggling to get the calories up to 1,000 and I was a bit concerned about that. But having looked into it now, I see that a lot of people that do intermittent fasting, they change calories, they don't look at it on a day-to-day basis, they look at it on a week basis. So for example, last Sunday we had a lovely meal and it was pasta and a very rich tomato sauce, a nice pile of meatballs and a whole garlic baguette, and once I'd had that and then I'd had a dessert as well, it came to about 1,700-1,800 calories. But then the next day, I can't remember what we had, but say for tonight we're having chickpea dal with rice and a piece of homemade bread, and that will only come to about 800 calories, and by the time I've had a biscuit and a cup of chocolate, it's going to be under 1,000 calories. But I won't worry, because I know that next Tuesday is pancake day, and rather than not dreading pancake day, I just haven't done it for the last few years. I haven't done pancake day because they are very fattening, and Andy makes them, I make the mixture, he makes the pancakes, and to me, having one pancake, allowing yourself one pancake, is infinitely worse than having no pancakes at all, because it just shows you what you can't have more of. But this Tuesday we're going to be making pancakes within my hour, and I'm going to have as many pancakes as I want with sugar and lemon on, and there's going to be no issue because I probably won't be eating as many calorific meals the days before, and it evens out over the week naturally. You know, you don't have to think about it. When I've had my tea tonight, although it'll only be 900 calories, I will be absolutely full. And I'm getting fuller quicker. That's the funny thing. I'm getting full on less food. Somebody said that would happen, and I wasn't sure about it because I thought by the time it gets to tea time I'm going to be so hungry that I want a massive meal. But it's not been the case. I'm eating less now, and I'm actually starting to get properly full. Beforehand, I would find that once I started eating, it was like opening floodgates and I wouldn't be able to stop. But now I'm finding I'm even leaving some. I can't eat it. You know, I just cannot explain the ways that my eating habits have changed, and I hope it continues. I really do. I've got all my fingers crossed. As I say, I still keep thinking it's going to collapse, but as time goes on, it's getting better and better. And people do it all different ways as well. Some people do it very strange ways that I'm not sure about. I saw somebody yesterday who, for their meal, they had 4 eggs, a fatty piece of meat and half a block of butter. Now that to me is not normal eating. That's still disordered eating to me. If it works for you, maybe, but I'm not sure about the health benefits of eating like that. It doesn't seem right. It still seems disordered. I think really you should be aiming at eating, you know, some healthy stuff, some junk, mixing it up and having a meal that you really enjoy. There are 2 people on my channel who, if you want to check them out, and I'll leave a link to each of their channels below, who do intermittent fasting completely differently to me and completely differently from each other as well. One is Rowbean. If you follow her channel, she's been doing intermittent fasting for just a bit longer than me, and she's as enthusiastic about it as me. And if you want somebody else who's going to fill you full of enthusiasm, go and watch her channel. She lost in her first 3 weeks 17 pounds, so she is obviously doing something right, and she's loving it and she's finding it easy, and she's full of encouragement and inspiration. So go and have a look at her channel. She'll probably comment below as well, but I will put a link into her channel. And the other channel that I've been following that's been very helpful to me is Tom at Latchkey Generation. I'll put a link to his channel below, and he is also doing it in a completely different way from Rowbean and I, and he's just as enthusiastic about it. He's losing lots of weight, and he's eating exactly what he wants to eat and enjoying it thoroughly. And actually, if you look back on Tom's channel, he put a post up. He does a post every day, which is nice, and he put up a post saying it'll be a workout like you've never seen before, and he didn't say much else about it, and I thought, oh, I don't really want to watch people work out, it's not my sort of thing. But anyway, I went and had a look, and I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I can honestly tell you it is the first workout video on YouTube in all the years I've been on YouTube. It's the first workout video I have watched from beginning to end. It was fantastic, it was really funny, and it was really interesting, and I loved it. So if you want to see, as he put it, a workout like you've never seen before, go and have a look for that video. And Tom is full of encouragement. He's trying to build a small community of people doing intermittent fasting, and he's looking for people to encourage. And so, you know, if you want to get some encouragement, go over to Tom's channel and follow him and what he's doing, and you can see that you know, there's a man that really enjoys his food and it's working really well for him. And he's given me lots of encouragement, as has Rowbean, and I hope I give it back as much as they do to me. I've got one new item to show you this week, which we tried, and that's this here. I'll hold it up for you to have a look at. I'm not sure which way down it goes. I'm sure it's that way, but I'm not sure which way up. This is from Sainsbury's, and we did try a couple of other things this week. I did have I had cream egg, I had chocolate Easter bunny, and some other chocolates, because I like my chocolate, as you know. Sorry about that, Annie, if you're watching, I hope, because poor old Annie, who is another subscriber of mine, poor old Annie is like me. She loves her chocolate, and she's always trying to give it up, and she does so well, and then she'll have a bit of a blowout, and then she'll go back to it, but she does fantastically well giving it up. So sorry about that, Annie, but I can't do a day without chocolate. So this that I've got here, I bought from Sainsbury's, and it's a curried chickpea naan bread. So it's a naan bread, and it's full of chickpea dal, like a chickpea curry. And basically, why I wanted to show you is because it's like a pasty, but without the pastry. It's got bread on the outside, and it is gorgeous. It's really filling. And it's only 377 calories. Now, if you were to have a pastry on the outside, I'm sure that would be up into the 500-600 calories for the size of it. And I found out that it wasn't on the Sins app, but having put it through the calculator, it came out at 15 Sins. And I checked a pasty of the same size, well, it was actually smaller, that was 22 Sins, very similar, but because it had pastry on it, it was 22 Sins. Because this is a naan bread on the outside, it's only 15 Sins. And we just pop them in, you get them fresh when you buy them, we just pop them in the air fryer until they get nice and crispy, and we had it with a bowl of soup, and that was it. We were really full. So as you can see, that was quite a low calorie day, because this is 377 calories, the bowl of soup was 200 calories, and that was that, we were full. So that's all I can tell you this week, really. I hope I can encourage somebody to try intermittent fasting. It might not work for you. I didn't think it would work for me. It's worth a try, but I think what I want to say more than anything else is don't give up. Because I've been trying different things for years, and I've never found anything that's really suited, and now I think that I have. So I gave up 10 years ago trying to find things. I just thought there's nothing that's going to work long term, but I'm hoping that this is, and I've joined some communities on Facebook. I watch 6 Miles to Supper as well on YouTube. Because I think you've got to watch, as well as having a community of people that are new to it, you need to watch people that have been doing it for years, and they can give you advice, and they've got the expertise and the science behind it all as well. So it's time for the weigh-in. So far this year I've lost 3 stone 4, which is, work that in pounds, 34, 38, 42, 46 pounds so far. And last week I weighed in at 10 stone 4, so we'll see what it says this week.
Hello. It's ready.
So 10 stone 3 this week, that's another pound gone. So since I started doing intermittent fasting, I have lost 6, 7, 8, about 8 pounds I think in 3 weeks. So I'm made up with that, and it's been so easy. It's been the easiest 8 pounds I have ever lost.
Bye.
So good luck to everybody who's doing their own plans. I know I've got a lot of people here following that are doing different things, and I still support people doing Slimming World and Weight Watchers and calorie counting, because I don't think the same plan works for everybody. You know, this fasting wouldn't work for some people, it would work for others, and Slimming World will work for one person and not another. And I think it's just encouraging watching other people doing plans, losing weight. We're all in it together, we all want to lose weight, and I'm just so thankful for everyone who comments on my channel. It's so encouraging when you know people are actually watching and they bother to just give a like or write a comment. And I love following everyone's channels. I think I follow everybody who follows me and comments on my channel. And if you are doing intermittent fasting and you have got a channel, please let me know in the comments below, because there aren't as many people doing intermittent fasting videos as there are doing other weight loss plans, and I'd really like to find more people to follow. So, you know, drop a comment in and let me know if you're doing a channel, and I'd love to come over and support you as well. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm looking forward to another week. I hope everyone has good Pancake Day. I'm so excited about it. I can't say I'm so excited about Pancake Day coming up this year. I really am. So take care, and I shall see you all next week. Bye!